So, dear students, welcome to the sixth and the last part of lipids in milk topic of chemistry of milk subject. In this topic, we are going to discuss about vitamins in milk and specifically fat soluble vitamins which are present in milk. So, as per the definition, vitamins may be defined as carbon compounds of diverse structures which are not used for energy or fixed into the tissue framework, but which are required in minute amounts for the normal functioning of the living organisms. So these are not providing us any nutrition in form of they are not just like they are not like protein that they becomes a part of our muscles, and they are also not like fats, carbohydrates, proteins, like they are not also providing us any form of energy, but still they are required, and they are required in very minute amounts, in milligrams, micrograms, for the normal functioning of the living organisms. Vitamins are also recognized as nutrients for animals obtained from different foods, etc. These cannot be synthesized in the body. Vitamins are also synthesized by several other living organisms such as microorganisms like yeast and mold. Uh, when the complexity of organisms increases, the capability of synthesizing vitamins gets lost naturally. Sunlight also helps in synthesis of vitamins like vitamin D, and since milk being considered to be nearly complete food, it is consumed by human beings of all age. So, if we take a look at all the vitamins in milk, so there are four fat soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K, and um, two water soluble vitamins, vitamin B complex and vitamin C. Vitamin B complex is further of many types. Uh, so here in the slide you can see the classification of vitamins. So the B complex vitamins are further of several types like vitamin B1, thiamine, B2, riboflavin, B3, niacin, B4, B5, pantothenic acid, B6, pyridoxine, B7, biotin, B9, folic acid, and B12, cyanocobalamin. And in case of fat soluble vitamins, there are only four fat soluble vitamins: A, D, E, and K. So now we will discuss these fat soluble vitamins one by one, starting with the vitamin A. It is a primary alcohol derivative of a polymer consisting of four isoprenoid rings units. It is formed by the cleavage of a provitamin A carotenoids, polymers of 8 isoprenes. Of these, beta carotene has the highest vitamin A potency because it consists of identical halves and thus yields two retinol molecules, while other carotenoids yield only one. Plants synthesize carotenoids but not retinol. Animals cannot synthesize carotenoids but can split them to retinol. Vitamin A levels are frequently expressed in international units, although this unit is officially no longer accepted. One international unit equals to 0.344 microgram of crystalline vitamin A acetate, or 0.300 microgram vitamin A alcohol, or 0.600 microgram beta carotene. Current usage is to express vitamin A potency as retinol equivalents. One retinol equivalent is equal to 1 microgram retinol, or 6 microgram beta carotene, or 12 microgram other provitamin A carotenoids, or 3.33 international units from retinol, or 10 international units from beta carotene. All these are equal to 1 retinol. Vitamin A is present in cow's milk as retinol, retinol ester, and carotene. The content depends strongly on the amount of carotenoids in feed, and the ratio of retinol to carotene in milk varies with the breed and species of the animal. Vitamin A is relatively stable to heat in the absence of oxygen because of the highly unsaturated character of the molecule. It is quite susceptible to oxidation, specifically in the presence of sunlight or artificial light. If we talk about its stability, it is quite unstable in presence of mineral acids but stable under alkaline conditions. Vitamin A and its carotenoids have good stability during various food processing operations. So it is heat stable. Losses may occur at high temperature in the presence of oxygen. These compounds, these carotenoids which form vitamin A, they are also susceptible to oxidation by lipid peroxides, and conditions favoring lipid oxidation will also result in vitamin A breakdown. Pasteurization of milk does not result in vitamin A loss, but exposure to light will result in loss. Therefore, it is essential that the sterilized milk or pasteurized milk be packaged in light impervious containers. Possible losses during storage of food are more affected by duration of storage than by the storage temperature. Now talking about the importance of vitamin A, vitamin A is very important in diet as it is necessary for growth, health and reproduction. It keeps the epithelial tissues healthy and therefore it helps in preventing infections related with skin. Lack of this vitamin will cause light blindness. Vitamin A aids in maintaining normal glandular functions such as maintenance of adrenal cortex and steroid hormone synthesis. It acts to initiate vision from light energy and is present as carotene. Vitamin A is present carotene in plants and must be converted to vitamin A for its function. It also acts as a growth factor. It has an important role in the vision of mammalian organisms. The table shows us the vitamin A and carotene content of some of the foods in international units per 100 gram. So if we take a look, then we can say butter is a very good source of vitamin A, followed by cheese, egg and milk. Now talking about the second fat soluble vitamin, that is vitamin D. Vitamin D includes a number of compounds with anti-rachitic activity. Ergosterol, which is also called as vitamin D2, occurs in plant material and is formed by UV irradiation of ergosterol. Cholecalciferol, which is called as vitamin D3 or animal vitamin D, is formed by UV irradiation of 7-dehydrocholesterol in animals, particularly in the skin. Both the forms of this vitamin occur in milk, D2 coming from the feed and D3 from the radiated skin of the cow or animal. The recent research shows that the active form of vitamin D is identified as 1,25-dihydroxycholecalciferol, which triggers the synthesis of calcium binding proteins for the calcification of bones. Thus, this vitamin prevents diseases like rickets in children and osteomalacia in pregnant women and osteoporosis in old. Talking about the importance of vitamin D, it is necessary to aid in calcium and phosphorus retention so as to make strong bones and prevent rickets. It increases tubular preabsorption and citrate blood levels, and it maintains and activates alkaline phosphatase in bones and serum calcium and phosphorus level. Vitamin D is sometimes called as sunshine vitamin because the ultraviolet radiation from the sun can convert an active precursor of skin to vitamin D. Children need vitamin D for their growth, and to a lesser extent, mother require this vitamin during pregnancy and lactation. So vitamin D is basically it acts at three levels: at the level of skin, at the level of bones, and at the level of kidney. At the level of skin, it helps in uh, formation of you can say vitamin from cholesterol, and at the level of bones it maintains the balance between the calcium content in bones and in blood, and at the level of kidney it prevents excess loss of calcium through urine, and therefore it is vitamin D is also sometimes correlated with hormones. Talking about vitamin E consists of a group of tocopherols. The most potent of these and the principal one in milk is alpha tocopherol C29H50O2. This is strong reductant and serves as an antioxidant protecting lipids from oxidation. The vitamin E content is rather low. It depends to some extent on feed. Summer milk has significantly higher concentration than winter milk. It is stable to heat but may be partially destroyed by intensive illumination in the presence of oxygen. The vitamin E content of human milk is about 10 times than that of cow milk. Talking about importance, vitamin E is very important, and it is the least toxic vitamin among fat soluble vitamins, the most toxic fat soluble vitamin being vitamin D. So why vitamin E is least toxic? Because it is having so many applications that if it is excess in for some application, for some function, it is then used by body for some other function. It is a strong antioxidant, prevents oxidation of unsaturated fatty acids and vitamin A in intestinal tract and body tissues. Secondly, it acts in oxidation reduction reactions, play a role in human nutrition, and is associated with reproductive factor necessary for nutrition of muscles and better utilization of vitamin A. It maintains integrity of vascular system and central nervous system. Vitamin E is a detoxifying agent and maintains kidney, tubules, lungs, genital structure, liver, and red blood cell membranes. Now talking about the last fat soluble vitamin, that is called as vitamin K. Vitamin K is present only in traces in milk if at all. Human needs for this vitamin are supplied from consumption of plant material containing it and by microbial synthesis in the digestive tract. So there are only two vitamins which can be synthesized by our gastrointestinal tract bacteria. The one is vitamin K and the other one is vitamin B7, that is biotin. So these two vitamins are synthesized by our uh, friendly bacteria which are present in our gut. And the main role of this vitamin or main function of this vitamin is in clotting of blood. So if this vitamin is not present, then even a small cut can lead to death as the bleeding may not stop. So its main function is to form a network of fibers at the site of injury, and then that network when it comes in contact with oxygen, then that dries up and provides a cover which stops the bleeding. So this is the function of this vitamin. So dear students, this was all about lipids in milk. I have tried to cover it in 6 small video lectures. So in our next video lecture we will discuss about next topic, that is salts in milk. Thank you very much.